NerdN OUT. NerdN OUT. NerdN OUT. NerdN OUT.
Alright, what's up, guys? I'm changing it all up real quick. We're turning off this shit. NerdN OUT. NerdN OUT. How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing good? Alright. What's up? What's up on my NerdN OUT family? Sorry, everything's ghetto today. I fell asleep when Fast Money we were supposed to hook up yesterday, and then the dude's a busy fucking bee. He can't ever find time to get shit done, which is not me talking shit about that guy. He's fucking busy, man. Leave him the fuck alone. Quit badgering him. Fuck. No, I'm fucking with him. But, and I like to stick to my shit, so we're doing it no matter what today, What's going on here? Let's see. Alright, here we go. Alright, so it's not going to be as fun as usual today because I'm all alone. And I got to bring the funny on my own. And, I can do that. I got funniness. But, Fast Money does help me out. Alright. Let's see. We'll go back to that because we'll bring the show to a screeching halt later in the fucking show. But we're going to start with Nerd-Entertainment tonight. Kind of brilliant to me because, Have you ever heard the actual, old school Entertainment Tonight theme? It sounds almost like this, but guess what? This is fucking original. Alright, Nerd Entertainment Tonight. I needed that. I'm sorry. That's what it had to be done. Alright, so they're talking about the new... Alright, so I guess they're having issues with Shuri, the actress. I didn't write down her name. Do I need to know her name? But they're having issues with her being hurt, and then I think also not wanting to be vaccinated. I'm not for sure. But so they're talking about maybe Imbaku. I didn't write down his real name either. But you remember Imbaku? That motherfucker was dope, dude. He was standing side by side with Black Panther when the final, when the end game or the sorry, I gotta stir my shit. I put butter in it. I drink butter and coffee, so I have to stir my shit and I have to drink a bunch of fat at the top. But anyways, they're talking about Imbaku replacing Black Panther. And of course, he won't be T'Challa, he'll be Imbaku. But Imbaku will be a badass fucking Black Panther. They're also talking about maybe bringing back Killmonger, but I like this idea. Fucking Imbaku, and I hope I'm saying his name. I've said it so many times if I'm not saying it correctly. That should be a fucking meme or a fucking Imbaku. I'm canceled again. Sorry. But I think that's a good choice to replace him. I mean, that way he's already in the universe. You're not getting a new T'Challa. You're not. I kind of like Shuri too, but Shuri could still be in it, as the science person. I think it was a big leap. Maybe she would try and fail, but then you got a woman failing at what a man could do. There's so many fucking problems with this. I mean, just so many fucking problems. And the problems just seep out the more I talk about it. The more I think about it, the more problems. I'm like, oh shit, how are we going to do this, guys? Oh, it's going to happen at this point. Nothing's going to happen at this point. Because you're only able to do what you're able to do. I could move my thing over here. To where I could just, you see my phone, I could just look at you like it looks like I'm looking at you, but I'm not looking at you. And I can drop this down. Just a tad, boom, see? Ooh, my phone's underneath, so now I'm kind of looking at you, but not like I can go down like, All right, so the Justice League cameo at the end of Peacemaker is causing a huge stir. Like, you know that they're shooting the Flash right now, or like the Flash is doing reshoots. I mean, somehow like Ezra, it's not too hard for Ezra Miller to jump in that Flash suit, and they're shooting Aquaman right now. So these motherfuckers could literally do their pieces in front of whatever green screen there. Green screen, like this shit that I don't use behind me because I haven't figured it out. I'll figure it out someday. But I'm just saying. But I'm getting off topic. It's causing a huge stir because there's all kinds of issues with this thing. Number one, I guess Marvel jumped in and helped them shoot this. Marvel helped them shoot this end credit cameo scene, and they left Cyborg and Batman completely out of it because they, I guess, they're having issues with Ray Fisher. I haven't done all the research on that, but they're having issues with him as well. I think it's because he didn't like being like shit talked about him, and like Joss Whedon just fucking shatting on him completely. I'm not for sure about that, but I'm almost positive he just wasn't a huge fan of that. So neither one, and you know the Matt Reeves Batman and the Ben Affleck thing and Michael Keaton, like the fucking Batman issue is so fucking up in the air. Like and as much as I love Batman, I don't know if as much as I love, and as much as I love Batman, I don't know if as much as I love Batman. Cool. I don't know if you hear my stomach. Sorry for everything going on, but the cameo was just supposed to be a cool thing, and now it's just become this whole big mess of crap. But man, did you see that new fucking Batman trailer, dude? Colin Farrell as the Penguin looks dope, and it seems but you know, they're basically, I mean, Batman, Catwoman, Penguin, that's Batman Returns, Batman the sequel, Batman #2. And they added the bonus of the Riddler, and it seems like fucking Batman meets Seven is gonna be dark and fucking and just really gritty. Like, I'm pretty damn excited for it. But I want to talk about all the prequels and sequels real quick. Since there's so many prequels and sequels coming out from past properties. Like, it feels like we can't. Which, I mean, and it's hard because, you know, as much as you want them and you like them, it's like shit, man. I mean, right now we got the Lord of the Rings prequel, the Game of Thrones prequel, some Dumbledore prequel. We got a Resident Evil prequel coming out. I mean, we just had the Sopranos prequel. There's and this isn't a prequel, but they're bringing back Legally Blonde. There's gonna be a fifth Scream, a Sister Act 3, which Tyler Perry's gonna produce. I don't know. You know, Hocus Pocus 2. Social Network 2, Lion King 2, which it's the live action Lion King 2, and I think it was and even wait, and they're doing it. We know about the Indiana Jones 5, which homeboy's fucking 80 years old almost. What are we gonna fucking do? We already tried to pass it off to fucking Shia LaBeouf. How are we gonna give it to I mean, what's gonna happen? Is this gonna be? And they're like, oh, this is gonna be the final chapter. Like, the final chapter was The Last Crusade. Sean Connery, Harrison Ford, that was the final fucking chapter. So that's the cost of being a boss, you know. So yeah, they're doing the Indiana Jones 5. I'm over it. Let Indiana Jones go. You try to get it going again with the Crystal Skull and pass off to Shia LaBeouf. I don't know. Then they're doing it. You remember Troop Beverly Hills? No, you probably fucking don't, because it was a not shitty. It was a Shelley Long movie. The great actress Shelley Long, who, don't get me wrong, she was a good actress, but she never became anything major. And now they're doing a Troop Beverly Hills 2. And I think it's just supposed to be decades in advance. I'm kind of excited for the Buzz Lightyear prequel. It it's from the point of view of the real Buzz Lightyear, which I don't remember. I don't know if you remember the Buzz Lightyear cartoon back in the day. That's kind of what it was. It was from the point of view of Buzz Lightyear being a real person and what he was actually based off. And then they're redoing they're not redoing, but they're having a sequel to that War with Grandpa. I guess the grandpa's now getting married and it causes another fucking fight with, and it's just like, oh, we're digging in the well a lot, man. Like maybe War with Grandma, like maybe, and I guess maybe that's it. I didn't hear him claim that, but I mean, I guess maybe he's getting married and the kid doesn't like the new grandma or some shit. Man, that's a fucking... That just sounds like a terrible movie. Like, when I say it out loud, like, that sounds like a terrible fucking movie to me. And they're coming out with... they got a couple of G.I. Joe movies coming out. They got another... Now, we got the Snake Eyes coming out, which... I mean, I'm kind of excited for it, but I mean, the best part about Snake Eyes is how dark and mysterious of a character he was. He didn't fucking talk. He was just the fucking G.I. Joe that did his fucking thing. You tell him what to go do, he does it. When you need him, he's fucking there. That was the brilliance of Snake Eyes. But now we gotta tell, I think this is gonna be a prequel, kind of telling about how he came to, I don't fucking know. And they also have another G.I. Joe movie with the Dwayne Johnson Dwayne Johnson, who he's just known as Dwayne Johnson, which you got to give it there. I mean, Hulk Hogan was never known as Terry Bollea. I'm just saying, so I guess he surprised him. Anyway, so and this, the Rock is, I mean, they came the closest to what a good G.I. Joe movie would be with the first movie, and then the first movie didn't do that great, so like, oh, we gotta infuse it with this, and like they could have brought the Rock in but still keep Duke, but they killed off Duke. They brought in the Rock, which I don't even know I don't know who the fucking Rock was playing, but all the people at Dennis Quaid, Duke, Marlon Wayans, those were good fucking characters. They still had Snake Eyes. And wasn't this woman a different woman than they had in the first time? Like, I mean, like, wasn't she a different, like, heroine? Like, they had a female heroine in the first movie, but I think this one was different. I'm not for sure. I haven't watched these movies. Again, just FYI, just so you know. I'm going off of memory. So it was just... I mean, that movie was okay, but it didn't get my, like, oh, let's see another G.I. Joe. I was excited I'm a G.I. Joe fucking junkie, man. I think this arm is going to be all 80s shit. Like, well, I mean, I got Kiki going on right there, but that's where it deserves to go. It doesn't matter. But G.I. Joe is near and dear to my heart. As close to my heart as fucking you, man. I mean, I had every fucking G.I. Joe available back in the day. I mean, spoiled G.I. Joe wise. Maybe that's why I spoiled my kid with all his fucking action figures and shit. I mean, Channing Tatum and Marlon Wayans and Dennis Quaid, that was literally the closest thing the cartoon I ever saw. They haven't even, I mean, fucking The Rock could play Sergeant Slaughter or some shit, man. I mean, fuck, they haven't even brought him. Now I'm talking, like, and now I have hope, because I'm like, ooh, maybe they'll bring out Sergeant Slaughter in some way, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to be nice to me and bring out fucking Sergeant Slaughter, the fucking dicks.
I'm fucking old.
Because there's a lot of talk about...
I feel like there's a lot of space above
me.
I could fill that with
they're talking
my
about,
head.
Yeah, they're just going to pump it full
maybe
of
there should be like a nice logo
Marvel
right there.
shit.
Just to make us feel some type of way about it.
Podcast can see it. So this is what these are 3 questions. This is and I'll be honest with you. I take 3 questions from the Fat Man Beyond podcast, because guess what? Because he spoke about being Iron Man before.
Interact with them.
Professor
X,
shits about me. Patrick
y'all
Stewart
don't care
from
about
X-Men
me.
97 type era.
Unless somebody's
He's gonna
on
be
here and
that-
wants to interact,
that
you can jump
character.
on with a question real quick. And with questions, I mean, these are, if you've ever listened to Fat Man Beyond, they're like the first question I got is, what other comic character could pull off that what other my bad. What other comic character could pull off that Peacemaker intro type thing? So a rock 80s type song that basically the Peacemaker intro, but what other character? And I think you get bogged down because you think, ooh, what characters dance? The Fat Man Beyond people talked about, Dazzler and shit and stuff like that. But I think it's really who would you like to see dance? Deadpool could pull that shit. I mean, he pulled the fucking shit off with the Salt and Pepper song in his first movie. So it can't be done. I mean, Peacemaker he was the first to do it. And I've always, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Road Trip. I wanna rock. Twisted Sister. I didn't know that fucking song until I saw fucking Stifler doing it in that movie Road Trip on that short little bus. But yeah, that would be the song that I chose, and the character I chose to do it. I don't know, like, because I was from the Suicide Squad movie, I was against John Cena dancing. So you have to decide. So my character song that I was discussing before I was so rudely interrupted by, I don't know if you have kids, but they don't give a shit, bro. They literally don't give a shit what you're doing or what's going on. They're just like, nah, fuck it. Let me get in there. Let me wedge myself in there. So I would actually like to see someone like my first thought was Beast, but then he comes off a little dainty, because then when I was thinking what would he do it with? Maybe someone because you'd want something that's less known, so almost maybe the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants minus Magneto. I want to see the Blob, Avalanche, Toad, Pyro. I want to see them do a fucking TV show. Yeah. I wanna rock, and that could be Blob, Avalanche, all them dancing. But it's hard to rock out. That's was this song a rock song? No, his was more like an 80s type ballad.
Start off by talking something the existential despair of ABC3 Morning News.
Is something that's
4:30 in the morning. Let's get this day together. Good morning. I'm Jerry Lewis.
That was a lot of pressure.
I only know about this.
Okay.
Let's just get into this day.
Information from Bill Maher,
Every now and then,
John
I wind
Oliver,
up in the attic and they're hanging on a post.
probably a little bit of YouTube and shit. I don't watch local news at all anymore.
Classic
In fact,
leather, classic
I
stuff.
posted a thing of this guy. Local news is probably hard.
Chronic pain, my friends, is no joke. But let's not talk about it.
This guy was so fucking...
Forfeiting.
Fatigue.
You never
Doesn't
paid
sound funny. You might have to forfeit it.
Yeah.
Better wait. Nobody wants to go that
No.
But anyways,
no.
I love John Oliver. I think he is he's probably a lot more factual than most.
All right.
Most. He's more factual than most. That's not
How about it, okay?
I think
Fine.
maybe
What a
he's
lovely
more factual
enclosure
than
they have,
most.
don't you think?
You
Yeah.
guys,
Well, even a pretty cage is a cage, Laura.
I guess you
Look
would
at
say
that
a liberal
face.
left
All right,
side
you
point
may
of
start
view.
your Wednesday now
But
with
he
a
probably
smile.
leaves my side.
Baby
And this
animal.
is not a
Smile.
political show at
I just
all.
like when
You
you
can
ignore
like
me,
the
Laura.
left,
That's
the
nice.
right. If you
That
like
is, isn't it?
stupid
Yeah, I
shit,
like that.
this
Okay,
is the
people
show
who don't
for you.
like it as well.
I'm live. What's up, guys?
Professor X in my temple, show me the X-Men symbol, and I got enough star power to make the Avengers assemble. My face look dreadful, Deadpool, I'ma give 'em wings like Red Bull, keep it rocking like the thing that's on my finger, the speckle, and I got metal, Magneto, and I got green like She-Hulk, I ain't got a gamble or gambit, she speak Cajun and Creole, in my role gallery, I got Mystique in my team, no, Jubilees and some jeans, my Wonder Woman is lethal.
I'm a fucking idiot. You like idiots? Here I am. So I'm not even gonna make the joke of. Never mind. Coffee. Anyways. What was I talking about? Oh, I guess I was probably talking about subscribers or some shit. Who knows, man? I just got off on a tangent. Oh, I was really hoping to discuss this with Fast Money. Because when you're talking about something like CRT, critical race theory, this might not be the only face you want to see. Because a lot of times when you speak about CRT or critical race theory, this face is going to bring some shit that upsets you. Or probably makes you fucking happy. I'm not for sure. And I don't know what this will make you feel either way. I'm just going to say what I understand about it. And what I think the fucking problem is. And this is either going to lose me or gain me a lot of followers. Who knows? Who knows? Or maybe it'll do nothing. It'll be a tree falling in the fucking forest. Nobody will fucking hear it. Nobody will fucking hear it, man. No, I'm joking. Somebody's going to fucking hear it some way. I'll plug it in enough places. Okay, so CRT, which is, come to find out, critical race theory. Which, as I understand it, and you can correct me, comment, say whatever you want to. But from what I understand, it's we don't want to make white kids feel bad for the shit their ancestors did in the past. Okay, here's the point where I get canceled or I lose people or gain people. Who knows? You're fucking stupid. All right, I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry, but the fact that we, as a culture of people, whatever, white fucking people in general, like, we're worried about how fucking Tom, Dick, or Sally feel about that shit. Guess what? Tom, Dick, or Sally are gonna be okay when they go home and say, "Oh, Dad, I felt so bad. White people are so terrible. We did so many bad things." Yeah, well, guess what, son? Get the fuck over it, bro. Because guess what? As much as you feel bad about, there are a lot of perks to it too as well. Guess what? I've never been afraid for my life when I've been pulled over by the police. Because guess what? I'm the type of person they pull over and like, "Oh, hey there, buddy. How's it going, Mitch? Oh, your name's Keenan, eh? Oh, you're not usually the type of guy named Keenan we pulled over, eh?" Just saying, there's the, I don't know why I went Northern Canadian accent on that shit. But I'm just saying. I mean, and I'm almost positive that it's being, did we ever feel bad about, like, how, African American kids, and I hate that name, African American. They're American. Why the fact that we bring color or other race or anything in, like, we gotta fucking break it down to segments any further is fucking stupid. I mean, it's fucking stupid. I mean, maybe I just feel like everything I'm saying is fucking dumb. It's like I want somebody to be here and I'm like, hey, stupid McFly, are you there? Because this is gonna hurt or do something or completely fuck everything up. Who knows? Or this could get a bunch of fucking people loving the shit out of me right now. Oh yeah, I got a couple eyeballs on me somehow, some way. I keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. So back to this CRT, critical race theory. So what I understand is that it's this whole thing like. I even saw a thing. Now this was on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and there was this guy that I guess he's pushing for you can take your school dollars wherever you want to. Like, so say you want your kid to go to a better school, you can send your tax dollars to that school, to where that way, you know, kids in that area aren't going to get those tax dollars. You don't want fucking black kids getting your hard-earned fucking white dollars. Do you understand what the fuck is coming out of my mouth? Like, the stupidity of this shit. Like, it's just stupid. It is stupid. It is fucking stupid. I mean, it's just like the fact of, like, when we bus black kids to white kids' neighborhoods, why don't we just give the fucking black kid neighborhood some fucking money, guys? That would seem the fucking point of it. Hey, why don't we make their schools just like our schools? That would make it equal. You know? And why don't we just come together and figure something out? Like, hey, guess what? This country was fucked up for a whole lot of years for a whole lot of people. And that this country was literally only made for heterosexual white males. And let's not even say heterosexual white males. Because guess what? All that shit was in the closet. A bunch of people had beards back in the day. I don't know if you've heard the fucking theories of Abraham Lincoln sleeping with a dude for fucking ever, but and they come up with all kinds of shit. Like, oh, they slept together because of warmth and shit. And, you know, people slept in beds because shit was cold, you know, back then. Whatever the fuck. All I'm saying is, if you think about it with any kind of clarity or like common sense type thought at all, every argument for it or everything that somebody says about it comes off fucking dumb as shit. Because guess what? You wouldn't be okay with schools in lower income black neighborhoods telling history isn't like, you know, this is fucked up, right? You know, we were all slaves and like, oh my God, could you imagine how the fuck the establishment would shit themselves if low income neighborhoods were teaching the type of fucking theory that they're talking about teaching? It's not even theory. It's fucking, I hate these fucking words I have to come up with and use. If low income neighborhoods were trying to teach the same thing that high income neighborhoods were trying to teach, where you can move your dollars to, and again, these are high income fucking neighborhoods. They don't need your fucking money, dummy. They got the money, bitch. Like, fuck. Like, I'm sitting there watching this, and I recorded a lot of what they said. I mean, I could go back and, I mean, I could play their dumb shit, but I don't want to get, canceled or any of that shit right now because of, you know, playing somebody else's trademark copy. I play enough other people's shit. I don't want to get trademarked on my live shit. But yeah, thank you, John Oliver. Because somebody like, I had no idea what the fuck CRT was. Number one, I have no personal kids in elementary school. I have mixed kids in upper grades, junior high, high school type of shit, middle school, high school type of shit, depending on what what part of the country you're from. But and they don't talk about this shit about. I mean, these kids have got pretty good heads on their shoulders, and they understand what's been happening for years. I mean, it never. I mean, and maybe that's what's sad to say about. Like, I had no idea about critical race theory And I don't watch Fox News, and I don't really watch the news at all because the fucking news is, I mean, the times I'm over at my mom's house or around my mom and they're watching the news in the morning, I'm just like, why the fuck do you start your day with this shit? And then you realize, like, oh, you could purchase ad space on any news station. I could sell my stupid t-shirts on a news station in the morning. That's how just it's all biased and stupid and just it's fucking upsetting as fuck. I'm out of coffee, guys. All right, show's over. Joking. Joking. I say that a lot. I'm just joking. Joking. And that was probably a cancel me voice. I'm not for sure whatever. But yeah, critical race theory. I'm not sure I've heard about a dumber thing ever in my life. I mean, and maybe I should do some more research on the subject. I haven't. I don't think I will. I think John Oliver is about as far as I want to take this research on it. And I'm hoping to talk about it with Fast Money on Tuesday. We'll get back on our grind. We got froze over in Texas. I don't know if you heard this, but it got down to 28 degrees in Texas. Holy fuck, man. Our city shuts the fuck down at fucking 30. You're going to take us 2 degrees. At some points, we got down to 26 degrees, guys. 26 degrees. Fucking accumulation of sleet on the roads. Oh, fuck. We were tripping over here, guys. The whole city shut down for about 36 hours. Not 48. It was a shorter time period. I guess, yeah, about 36. Because it went from seemed like Tuesday night till Thursday morning or Thursday night. I don't know. Maybe, I know that we missed a couple of shows this week because of it, man. And people miss shows. And it's a hard thing. I did NerdN OUT, but the fucking thing, the sound cut out for the last 15 minutes. And I was about to, and I'm like, dude, guys, I'm fucking over it. I'm not doing this 15 minutes again. Let's just move forward, move on, and we'll catch up about our day. So that's what happened that day. So critical race theory, at least for me, at least from what I understand about it, it seems like a bullshit policy. It seems like we're up in arms about nothing at the moment. That's what I think.
Worry that kids are learning. Critical race theory is being taught in our schools. Critical race theory is bunk.
Critical race theory is a lie. From the first word to the last, from start to finish. Racist critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory in the schools and the wokeness.
Let me tell you right now, critical race theory is bigoted, it is a lie, and it is every bit as racist as the Klansmen in white sheets.
I do not like that Ted Cruz man. I do not like him shouting Klan. I do not like him in a room. I do not like him in Cancun. Judging by what's been happening at school board meetings across the country.
The Western culture and values that brought forth Christianity in the founding documents are being called evil and racist.
I am not co-parenting with the government. It is not your job to force these ideas onto my child.
The narrative in this country is that we're all inherently racist, and I'm about sick of it.
It's a Marxist ideology, and we all know it.
All of these lessons have the intent to make our children feel disgust towards our nation.
This country isn't even a racist country. We elected Obama for 2 terms.
Wait, hold on. America can't be racist because of Obama? I don't know if you remember the 2008 election, but things got pretty racist back then. Critical race theory. Think of it like Rihanna's pregnancy. Even if you think it has nothing to do with you, believe me, you're going to be hearing a lot about it this year.
I've never figured out what a critical race theory is, to be totally honest, after a year of talking about it. They're teaching that some races are morally superior to others, that some are inherently sinful and some are inherently saintly, and that's immoral to teach that because it's wrong.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen a person confidently complain about something just seconds after admitting they don't know shit about it.
Critical race theory just says, let's pay attention to what has happened in this country and how what has happened in this country is continuing to create differential outcomes so we can become that country that we say we are. So critical race theory is not anti-patriotic. In fact, it is more patriotic than those who are opposed to it because we believe in the 13th and the 14th and the 15th Amendment. We believe in the promises of equality, and we know we can't get there if we can't confront and talk honestly about inequality.
Yeah, but in the wake of the George Floyd protests, just as America was beginning to grapple with systemic racism, Fox News began featuring Rufo on air a lot as part of their efforts to swing that pendulum back.
The president and the White House, it's within their authority and power to immediately issue an executive order abolishing critical race theory trainings from the federal government. And I call on the president to immediately issue this executive order and stamp out this destructive, divisive, pseudoscientific ideology at its root.
Now, did Trump see that? I don't know. Is the Pope a Catholic? We have successfully frozen their brand, critical race theory, into the public conversation and are steadily driving up negative perceptions. The goal is to have the public read something crazy in the newspaper and immediately think critical race theory. And look, I am not saying discussing race in a classroom is easy or even always done well. Experts in this field will readily admit that.
Now, have you seen bad implementations of this?
Of course. Right? That's like asking, have I seen a bad math lesson? Right? Like, yes, teachers are humans, especially as we're trying to figure out how to teach about race and racism.
Exactly. Teachers are human.
First, we have to just get it out of schools. We have to ban it and abolish it. But in the long term, what we need to do is give every parent in this country a right to exit failing institutions. No child should be trapped in a failing public school that violates his sense of conscience, that violates the values of the parents. Every parent should take those education dollars anywhere that they wish.
Right.
School choice will liberate people, it will empower people, and it will actually depolarize some of these national fights that we've seen.
Oh, the roots of the school choice movement trace back to the Brown versus Board of Education decision when southern states adopted voucher programs to facilitate the creation of private schools called segregation academies. Any little league coach knows, once you reach a critical mass of angry white parents, there will be consequences. This current affairs teacher was fired for not giving varying points of view after he gave students a Ta-Nehisi Coates article and showed them Kyla Janae Lacey's poem, White Privilege. And he actually had a pretty decent response to that criticism.
I think, to me, the varying viewpoint is Kyla Janae Lacey and is Ta-Nehisi Coates. Those are perspectives that my students aren't exposed to on a daily basis because, you know, we live in that white, dominant, evangelical environment.
Right. Here is one Tennessee lawmaker explaining why he was pushing for his state's bill.
Listen to the following quotes from an email forwarded to me concerning a 7-year-old girl in Williamson County. The little girl told her mother, "I'm ashamed that I'm white." The daughter then asked her mother, "Is there something wrong with me? Why am I hated so much?"
Okay, I hear that, I really do, but that's literally one follow-up question like, what was happening to make you think the other kids hate you? Or did any adult step in when you felt this way? Or do you even exist? No parent had come forward to that school's principal, teachers, or district officials with that complaint, and administrators there weren't able to pinpoint any student who might be upset or lessons that could have been upsetting. But maybe the most insulting distortion of history is in the quote that every single anti-CRT activist seems to love to invoke.
You think about what MLK stood for. He said he didn't want people judged on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character.
You know, I believe it was Martin Luther King that said, you know, when he was talking about his children, that
he didn't want his children to be judged
on the color of their skin,
but by the content of their character.
Content of their character, not by the color of their skin.
Content of our character, not the color of our skin.
And the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King ring in our ears that we must judge others not by the
color of their skin,
but by the content of their character.
The left wants us to constantly focus on skin color. It's destructive. Martin Luther King Jr. is rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, you know what? I bet he is, actually. In fact, I'm pretty sure every time someone uses his words that way, Dr. King's illustrious remains spin fast enough to power the eastern fucking seaboard. And in fact, King himself later put a pretty major asterisk on it.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. And I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism.
Yeah, here is one of the leaders of the anti-CRT push there, explaining just why she is so fiercely opposed to it being taught.
In Loudoun County, this is the wealthiest county in the country. There's not a lot of racism. There are silly people that say stupid things, but if you talk about it less, you're gonna notice that division less. I don't look at the person based on their skin color. I look at them based on their character.
Okay, so there's a lot of obvious red flags there, from confidently asserting there's not a lot of racism here, to the I don't see skin color, to the you won't notice division so much if you just don't talk about it. And hey, if the problem with racism in America was only it's bumming Patty Mendes out, then yeah, shutting up about it would probably solve the whole issue. But guess how?
I think there are probably plenty of people that would agree with exactly that. But just to be fair on the other side, there are people, especially young black men, for example, who would say, I would love to not be judged on the color of my skin.
Do you think it's more on the color of their skin or their actions? How they're dressed, how they perceive, how they respect others? If you have a kid that's pulled over by a cop, does it really matter what color they are, or is it the respect that they give to that police officer?
Wow. Because kids of color can tell you they don't get a choice to not talk about race and have it go away, like this graduate of Loudoun County Schools.
I do understand that many parents don't want their children learning about race at such a young age, but I beg to differ in that sense. We learn about race every day when we're the only colored kid in our classrooms, or when we're learning about slavery and all the heads turn to us. So one way or another, one group of students will learn about race before another. So we believe that it would be equitable if all students learned about race in the same context, so we can work together on it to improve our future.
Yeah, grown adults insisting America can't be racist because we elected Obama twice, that racism will go away if we just don't mention it, and that Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech wasn't an aspiration we have yet to fulfill, but some kind of magic spell that ended prejudice then and there. That is our show. Thank you.